Chriscilla, often on the podcast, I've got so many ideas of things that I want to ask, and we just run out of time. So I love doing this extra, what I call bonus content here on YouTube, because I get to ask you a couple of questions we didn't have time for. And the one thing that I'm always fascinated about is people's music. And you sent me your playlist and your choice of music. So I'm wondering where music fits into your life. Is it important? Do you play it in the car now? Do you play an instrument? Where does music fit in?
I have a extreme love for music and I listen to it in the car, I listen to it at work, everywhere. I think music can lift your mood, it can, take your mood to a different level. And it's if you notice my playlist, it's all over the place.
Yeah,
I grew up in the country, so I have a love for Willie Nelson and old school Charlie Daniels
right.
and bluegrass. My dad used to listen to bluegrass, so I loved that. My grandmother had a love for gospel music, and so I too, every time I hear, just the really, gospel music, I love to listen to that. All the way up to the poppy stuff like Taylor
Yeah.
Swift and so I think I listen to it plays a huge role because I'm listening all the time to different things and I'm constantly switching it around from song to song, literally. I can't even sit and listen to a whole album at a time.
So is that when you're on the road, then is there car karaoke going on? And if I tuned in,
It's I am not a good singer, so I don't try. I don't even try. I don't even try. I played the flute for 5 years.
okay.
So I would say I would be, I don't know what class of moderate musician that would,
Hmm.
I could pick it up and play Careless Whisper at best today, but it's been decades since I've touched a flute. But no, I think it's one of those things that can help lift you out of and take you to a different, transform your space and make your mood lifted.
It really is transformative, isn't it? So you could go to a kind of
Any
quite
concert.
any concert, right?
People are
Yeah.
constantly saying to me, like, because I'll lip sync. I lip sync all the time. And they're
Oh,
like,
do
how
you?
do you know the words to this? And I'm like, I know the words to everything. Like, bring in the Eagles, bring in whatever it is. I can probably tell you the words to it.
Your family musical? Either parents or sons, are they musical?
That my middle sister has a beautiful, she sings like Janis Joplin. She has a guitar and she has spent summers like sitting in the streets in Portland with her case open, just playing a guitar, and singing. And she's a songbird. Nobody else has it. I don't know where it came from.
I love that.
Yeah,
I
I,
love that.
I love it too. My oldest son, he plays the guitar,
Uh-huh.
um, and he played the bass sax in school,
Hmm.
and he was very talented as well in those instruments. But past that, there's nothing.
How about books? Do you have time for reading? And what would you sit down with if you did?
I loved to read when I was younger, but I don't have if I'm reading a book, I think I'm doing something wrong. That it feels wrong to me because it
Really?
feels like I have too much time on my
You
hands.
don't give yourself permission to
I
to
don't give myself permission, but I have so many friends that have these book clubs and they talk about these really amazing books. But I don't know, I cut out television and I think I hate to say it, but I cut out books at the same time. Like I just
So do you think that maybe that's something that you would come back to later?
because I love to learn new things,
Right.
but I feel like I'm always trying to learn new things in quick spurts.
Hmm.
YouTube, I'll go to YouTube to learn how to do something, a skill,
Hmm.
or I'll Google it to learn a skill. And I would love to get that from a book, but I need to figure out a shorter book so that you know what I mean? So that
Yeah.
because I also am the type of person when I start reading it, I don't want to put it down. So I need to make sure that and I think that's all part of it. It's just about timing and schedule and I don't sit still very well.
Ah. So going to the movies then?
I don't go to
Uh,
the movies.
No.
I don't have any joy
No.
in going to a movie. It would be like saying, would you like to jump off that building or go to a movie? And I would say, I'll take my chances jumping off. I don't like to watch. Now, I'm not saying that I couldn't get sucked into a movie. Like
Mm,
if somebody was watching a movie and I heard little
mm,
bits of pieces of it,
right.
I choose not to because it doesn't bring me joy. That's not where the joy lies. I like to learn things. I'd rather watch 10 minutes on YouTube on how to make a paper mache something or another,
Right.
or some wildly extreme delicate, thing. Um, before I sit and have to read a couple chapters about it.
It's a constant urge there to be creative, isn't there?
Constant urge to learn. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah.
that I can take what I learn and shuffle it all up
Yeah. Yeah.
and then make it into my own creativity. Because that's the biggest thing is that it's, like I don't ever want anyone to say, oh, well, I saw that somewhere else.
Hmm.
So a lot of things I get inspired by fashion.
Hmm.
And I like to turn my fashion into food.
Okay. Are you
Yeah.
very fashion conscious yourself? I mean, color is obviously very important to you.
Color is very
But
important to me, but I have adopted a all black, all like I have it for work. I have the same blouse. I bought 20 of them. I wear the same blouse every day for work. I accessorize with scarves to change up the look, for
hmm.
work, but I don't ever have to think, I don't ever want to spend more than 5 minutes getting dressed and out the door.
Really?
Because I want to save that. Like
Yeah.
early on in my career, I learned that I was taking too much time. Like, oh, I didn't want to do that anymore. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get a couple blouses, all the same, and then I
Keep
can
it
switch out
simple.
my jewelry or,
Yeah.
whatever. So
Yeah. So hair and makeup then, you're a quick out of the shower girl and
no, not
no?
for hair and makeup.
Oh no, not for
No, do not confuse hair and makeup with
okay.
no, no. I am get out of the shower, spend time on hair and makeup, take 5 minutes to get dressed, and then
Okay.
yeah, yeah,
All right. Well, we got a
yep.
complete picture of you now, I think,
Yes, I think so too.
between them. But I'm not going to let you go real quickly because before we started recording the podcast, we talked about one shared passion, and that was horses, that you did actually
Yes,
learn to ride when you were younger on the farm.
absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, our farm had acres that we had rented out to people who owned horses. And because of that, I was allowed to brush the horses and ride the horses. And at a really early age, all I wanted was a horse of my own.
Oh,
And I eventually got a pony, Sugar. And but he was too wild to ever, he threw me off a couple times. I would ride him barebacked, So it was
yeah,
one of those like growing up kind of wild feral pony
yeah,
scenarios. But my mom's friend had a stable where she had, quite a few horses and she taught lessons. And so my mother and I did that together. We went and, learned the proper way to dress the horse and to approach the horse and groom the horse. And we did that for a couple years. We took lessons together and thoroughly enjoyed it.
yeah,
And like I was telling you earlier, this past year is when I got back on a horse
yeah.
in LA and or Palm Springs, and I was scared to death. I was just like, how did I ever do this? But at the same time, it was exhilarating and it was a lot of fun. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, life is very fun and full for you right now.
it's very fun. I
It
love
is.
it.
And
Yeah.
I really appreciate you taking this time, Priscilla, from your very, very, very busy schedule. I hope you get some downtime at some point, right?
Yeah.
Because you're on the go, 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 go. So
Oh
thank you
my gosh.
so much for sharing some of it with us.
Thank you, Chris. I'm so grateful for the opportunity. Thank you.